this is the first time we've had an email from Dylan.
Oh, okay. So this is new. I mean, I think he did he. I mean, I know Dylan, but
you're gonna have to help me with his last name, Blanchard or Blanchard or
yeah, okay. Blanchard. Yeah,
Blanchard. Dylan Blanchard, who I'm assuming is Aaron's. This is bad. Do I know him? Do I like? Is this bad that I'm trying?
I'm trying to think. I don't think you've met. Yeah. Okay. Sorry if you have, but I don't recall.
That would be so bad if I'm like, I don't know this guy and I've met him like 5 times or whatever. So.
No. It wouldn't be 5 times, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So we got an email from Dylan. This is great. New nice. Correspondence. Maybe people really took to heart what we said about like, hey, you gotta write in, guys. Let us know that you're listening. And we still say that, by the way. Okay.
Really excited to hear this.
Okay. So the subject, and let me think if you can figure this out just from the subject. The subject is Aaron's chair.
Aaron's chair. Okay. I can maybe, yes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, when I read that subject, so this email came in yesterday. And when I got on my phone, I was like, oh, is there something wrong with the chair that you're sitting on during the podcast? Is there some or is he asking like, what chair does Aaron use so I can buy it or whatever? But
well, hopefully there's a body to this email, not just the subject.
yeah. There is more than just a body. Okay, this gets pretty good. Nice. This gets pretty good. Okay, so this is from Dylan Blanchard. I'm not going to give out his email address, but I will say the domain that he has is pretty awesome. Yeah,
it is.
You know it, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Aaron's chair, Dylan Blanchard. Okay. Hey, ETC podcast, short time lurker. First time emailer here. I was listening to the latest episode, so I'm trying to think what segment this has to do with. I think there was something last episode that you mentioned, or maybe 2 episodes ago that you were kind of, I think maybe talking about things to buy because you're kind of indoors. Like maybe there was the Microsoft Flight Simulator thing we were talking about or something like that.
Yeah.
There's probably something around that. But anyways, I was listening to the latest episode and was surprised that Aaron didn't bring up his 450 axis gaming chair that he's been researching. Here's a crude 0-axis chair he was trying out years ago, proving it's been a long time interest. Hoping to learn more. And he attached an image. An image, yes. But also he attached a video of you in the 0-axis chair. And we're going to post that. As long as you're okay with it, we're going to post that on our YouTube channel. Although there's not a lot going on in the video, to be honest.
Yeah, there isn't. It's. I guess it's technically.
Okay, so what's this all about? What's this all about? I have no idea what the heck he's talking about. What's a 450 axis chair and what's the 0-axis chair that you're sitting in?
So it's not. I don't think it's 450. So did I? Yeah, I guess I must have mentioned Microsoft Flight Simulator on some previous episode, right? That's kind of the context point. No, so I am exploring ways to keep myself busy this winter because I'm not going to be traveling. Activities are a little bit limited right now. I'm going to be at home a lot, and something that I've been trying to do for a few years now, but I feel like this year is like, okay, this is the year to do it. Is kind of get into more, not just gaming, but simulators, right? And so, Microsoft Flight Sim is not a arcadey game. It's a very serious, accurate flight simulation game. But, I've been also thinking about this for driving games, things like that, like other flying games. If you get a simulator, like the most basic thing, and that's what he's calling a 0 axis. It's not. Yeah, basically, it doesn't move. Right?
It doesn't move at all.
It has a chair, and you have a steering wheel, like if you're playing a racing game.
I have to say though, this 0-axis version looks pretty intense. Is this yours or your friend? Is this Dylan's?
No. So that was many years ago at work. So Dylan and I used to work together, I'm sure he has a whole archive of photos of me that I don't know from work. But yeah, this was many years ago at work, and it was just they had it's a racing chair with you can put on a VR headset
Yeah, you're wearing one.
And
Yeah.
it's like that's the bare minimum to get a good simulation experience, right? Because like you feel some extent of it being realistic because you're in a chair, right? Like a racing seat. And you have a steering wheel and you're wearing like a VR headset. So that's pretty good. But something that in the last years, and again, this is what I'm kind of doing research on, that has become a lot more accessible and cheaper are what they call multi-axes, like simulators or basically like, simulation rigs. And all that means is there's some amount of movement, right? And so axes just refers to how many axes of movement. So 0 would be none.
450.
There's no 450. You
Hey, man,
then move up.
This is Dylan, okay? He knows what he's talking about.
So you can imagine one axis would be very simple. It would just be like, let's say front, forward, and back, right?
Yeah.
And then 2 axes, maybe it goes side to side too, right?
Right.
But to get a good kind of realistic simulation of, because you imagine the forces when you're actually driving a real vehicle, right?
Yeah.
Like there's forces on your body, forward and backwards, left and right, but also up and down, right?
Yeah.
Because you hit a bump, right? Things like that. So 3 axes is actually the bare minimum that you need to get all the sensation of like when you're braking, it actually moves. And I can post a video of like one of these setups. So basically, it's a chair mounted on a bunch of like pistons that move.
Okay.
And they will actually move like the seat forward, backwards, left, right. And so you can get, a 3 axes setup. But the more advanced ones, I think the most you get is like a 6 axes. And I don't know what all the axes are, but basically it's not just about movement, front, back, left, right. It also goes up and down. It can also like twist.
Like rotate. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, if you're drifting like a rally car, right, the back will actually go out.
Yeah.
And so you can get these things in your home and assemble them and you just have them. And
they're not are they kind of like not pre-made, but I mean, like they give you everything you need to kind of like
exactly
put it together and like
and then it's a bit of a an IKEA process to assemble it all, but you basically get everything. And they do a really smart thing where they just translate, like any game you're playing, they just translate into movement. So you don't even need a specific game, it just
cool.
translates. They're still not cheap, but these things used to cost 5-6 times as much even just a few years ago. So you can basically get like a full-on simulation setup at home for about the same price as a computer. Like it's around that range. So not too crazy. I am doing research on that, and that's what he's referring to. But TBD, what I decide, that'll be for a future episode once I get something set up.